A massive cultural shift is happening across America. North Americans don't care anymore about celebrities. Hollywood is crying, and they're trying to get back to the mainstream middle finally, but it may be too late. Folks, what if we told you we have the data, and we'll tell you why celebrities no longer want to play around with politics? Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. It is a pleasure to have you here with us today, where we do not take a single day for granted when we have the opportunity to be with you. Thank you for joining us. Click that like button and let's get underway today. By the way, if you like this kind of content and you want more of it, www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. We go even farther into, well, what's happening with the Hollywood and the Holly Weirds. They're struggling mightily. Here's the story, folks, out of The Hollywood Reporter. It's by Steven Zetchik. Zetchik? Whatever. Steven Z. Sorry, Steven. We would like to get your last name right. Why is Hollywood suddenly silent about Trump? Outside of The Apprentice, it's been eerie quiet. Now, this, of course, is coming from one of the trades, and the trades put out the official narratives that Hollywood is supposed to embrace. And so Steven is putting out the official complaint now. Dear celebrities, you are not complaining enough about Orange Man Bad. You need to get a case of TDS back in your brains. But I'm here to rain on the parade of Steven Z. Again, we wish we had his last name correct, but I will butcher it again. Steven Z, I will rain on your parade today because we have the data to show you why celebrities, they've turned into ostriches. Their heads are under the sand. And frankly, Americans are glad of it, but I'm not sure that Americans will come back to the Hollywood celebrity worship cult. The digs at Hollywood were blunt and unusual. The Apprentice stars were mad, stunned that so few of their peers would engage with them. And of course, this is not the Apprentice TV show. This is the movie that was attempted as anti-political propaganda, anti-Trump propaganda in the prior election cycle. Now, folks, I want you to remember as we go through this video, I want you to remember that all of what I'm saying is actually good news. I don't want you to think that you've been tricked into watching a rage bait video. I want you to have a happy parade here because I think it's good that celebrities' influence is waning. Here's what we have. People have been afraid to touch this film. Again, that's the anti-Trump propaganda piece. To be seen as complicit in the film, to support the film, to publicly endorse the film, and certainly to show the film on a streaming platform. Jeremy Strong, who plays Roy Cohn in the independently financed Donald Trump origin story, told me recently. But the role of storytelling is to hold up a mirror. It's not to make people feel comfortable. It's not simply to entertain. It is to hold feet to the fire. Of course, this movie was woefully impotent and had no impact on the election. I can't think of a subject more relevant to what all of us are living through, he added. Not to be embraced by the industry has been really hard. His co-star, Sebastian Stan, who many of you had hoped would take over the mantle of Luke Skywalker, but no more because he's just as crazy as Mark, was almost as pointed. When it comes to artistry and creativity, we have to be able to protect free speech. It shouldn't be selective free speech, Stan, who plays Trump, told THR soon after calling out colleagues for shunning him. It should be free speech on all fronts. We can't get normalized about what we can and can't talk about. Now, you'll notice that Mr. Stan and the rest of the gang who did this movie, they have no interest whatsoever in doing anything on the conservative side. So this is a far left propaganda piece. They don't have any interest of going over to the Republican side or protecting the speech of the Republican side, right? They're angry that people are moderating. They're angry that people are moving more into the center and saying, we're done with this. We're tired of this. The abrasive divisiveness, we're done. And no, folks, I'm not making a reference to Allstate. That was a horrible, horrible response by the CEO. We'll leave that there. That's a video for another day. Something strange is happening to The Apprentice, says this author on THR, which despite acute timeliness, in other words, it should have worked. It was propaganda aimed at the presidential election, during a presidential election. And an 83% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, where, of course, critics are inclined to like that sort of thing. It has been willed away by the industry. Nobody watched it, by the way. Scroll down just a bit. Such a reception metaphorizes current Hollywood. After deploying every weapon to stop Trump from regaining the White House, letting loose every Beyoncé performance, George Clooney op-ed, and Taylor Swift endorsement, the industry has gone silent. Harry Lloyd silent since he won. Yes, Mark Hamill has said that we get the leaders we deserve, and indeed, Billie Eilish noted Trump wages, should I whisper sing this? A war on women, but most contemporary stars haven't made a sound since November 5th. No, Jennifer Lawrence, do not let this defeat you, let this enrage you. As after the 2016 election, no Robert De Niro commentary, a real racist, as he was fond of making last time. Back then, Stephen Levitan derided Trump's lies, and Barry Jenkins, he's the Lion King man, swore at Trump and his immigration policy from the National Board of Review stage. But that is all going away. Award season and celebrities access lane to politics, yet at the starting gate of an 8-week sprint, no frenzy awaits at the turn. Well, why would that be, folks? Why is it that Hollywood seems to be done with TDS? Why are the celebrities suddenly trying to move to the middle? In fact, some of them are trying to even look like they're based. I'll show you. We've got the data. From Vulture by Alejandra Gularte. Yeah, we got her name right. How to watch Sunday's Golden Globes. It's almost time. The Golden Globes is kicking off the 2025 award season on Sunday, January 5th. It's returning to CBS for the second year in a row and adding in first-time host Nikki Glaser, who's coming in with high expectations. She's got high hopes. It's not just the host coming in with a lot of buzz. Top nominees Amelia Perez, The Substance, are also highly anticipated to score some wins. And depending on how you feel about the new season of Squid Game, you might be rooting for or against their pre-premiere nominations. It goes on to talk about the Golden Globes when you can watch it. It's coming out this weekend, folks. I got a feeling, though, very few of you will be watching. Here is the absolute abysmal, terrible, awful, that all of Hollywood knows about if they have any savviness in their head. This is why the talent agents, this is why the PR people in the corporations, they have slammed on the brakes and they have told celebrities, you stay clear of anything to do with politics. You stop it because, folks, here's the headline. Take this one home. You can say you know this one because Pro covered it and you saw it with your eyes. The celebrity system where you become a Hollywood star and then suddenly the fact that people know you and look up to you and admire you and want to know about you is monetized across all of these publications and magazines and movies and TV shows and commercials. That is at the edge. That is at the precipice of collapse. The idea of celebrity hero worship, Hollywood hero worship, is at the edge of total destruction. And I have it here for you. Look at the graph. I want to explain this to you. Many of you have already been looking at this while I've been talking and saying, what in the world is this? Well, these are the ratings for the Golden Globe Awards in the United States. And I want you to take a look at the most recent years. You see, we can go all the way back to the early 90s. And we have all the way through the early 90s, these blue lines that represent the percentage of TV households that were tuning in for the Golden Globes. There were times when this was getting closer to 20%, 1 out of 5 people. And on average, it was about 1 out of 6 people, 1 out of 6 households cared enough to tune in to what is essentially an industry trade show celebrating each other, right? They're there to sniff their own flatulence. And you know what? We don't want to be too grotesque or too what would you say? We don't want to be blue here, and we don't mean to be blue in terms of our mood. Maybe there were some movies and some shows and some celebrities who deserve some praising on these Golden Globes. But essentially, it's a vehicle to further careers and further corporate interests and to play advertisements. And they all dress up nicely, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it is a bunch of people all coming together with probably preset winners decided by corporate powers to all collect together and celebrate each other. That's the idea, right? Okay, fine. Now, take a look at what's been happening. I want to direct your attention away from the big light blue bars because they stopped measuring those for some strange reason. Gee, golly, I just can't understand why. But now they're measuring with the dark blue, and the dark blue is the demo. The dark blue is the demo. Now, the demo, if you've been watching this channel very much, we talk about the demo quite often. The demo, those are the people who they make the money for the shows and the movies. The demo, those are the people who will buy the stuff in the ads. They're the 18 to 49. Sometimes the demo is presented as 25 to 55, what have you. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is, however you want to assign the group that will actually buy the stuff that's being advertised, that increases how much money those ads, those commercials are making, and that drives the entire economic system for a show like the Golden Globes. the Golden Globes has to be paid for by the commercials, but then the Golden Globes, it is supposed to be the springboard for Hollywood careers and celebrity interest and storylines and all of this stuff. It collapsed. It totally and utterly collapsed. Follow along with me for just a moment. From 2016 until 2020, the demo, that is, people who are the most likely to buy the stuff in the commercials, they make the world go round, was about 5% of all TV households turning in. Now, that's not great, but it's not terrible. It's enough to sustain the show, for sure. And remember that the commercials are there to sustain the show so that the show can ultimately drive all of these stories and articles and magazines and all of that, right? It's a publicity attempt, but it's got to be paid for, and the commercials do that. And the demo, well, those of you who are in the 18 to 49 category, you're the ones making it possible. In 2021, after the Summer of Love and after all of the political stuff that happened, take a look at what the interest level was for celebrities. Folks, it dropped down to about 1%. In other words, after the Summer of Love and after all of the socio-political uprisings in which Hollywood was on one particular side, after all of that, from 2020 to 2021, the demo, that's the 18 to 49, and that's the only number we know, the 18 to 49 crowd tuning in to the Golden Globes dropped by a huge amount. 80% drop, from 5% to essentially 1%. And in 2023, it dropped further. It actually was sub 1%. And that meant the Golden Globes was at the threshold of going away forever. In 2024, it slightly rebounded, maybe to 2%. Still not good. 2025 will be here next weekend. They must return to those levels that you see prior to the Summer of Love. And what is happening? Well, despite what the Hollywood Reporter might want, despite the requests for Hollywood to get back into TDS, it's probably not going to happen. Because as principled and as vitriolic as some of these people are, going into the far, far left, and by the way, I don't have any problem with anybody sharing their political or ideological or philosophical viewpoints. I just know that if you have a monolithic industry that is far, far, far left of everybody else, it's not inviting, especially when they're venomous towards half the country. And I don't suspect they're going to return to that. It doesn't have to do with their principles. It doesn't have to do with what they truly believe. It has everything to do with getting another diamond-crusted swimming pool in the Beverly Hills. Why? Well, because if this collapses, if celebrity interest collapses, then the money stops. You can no longer be the movie star who commands audience attention simply because your name's on the poster for a movie if the celebrity Hollywood cult interest, the Hollywood hero worship ends. And everybody's looking at those Golden Globes awards and the award show ratings. And they're saying, uh-oh, we're at the edge of collapse. We can't go back. We can't keep doing this. We haven't alienated half the country. We alienated 80% of the country. Let me say it again. 80%. And the moment that you say, oh, come on, pro, it's extreme, you can't say that. 2020 to 2021. And before you say, oh, come on, pro, it's just a fluke. No. Before you say, oh, it's streaming. Did streaming just suddenly come on the scene in 2020 and 2021 and just obliterate all broadcast viewing? No. Broadcast viewing is still, linear and broadcast and cable, still something like 48% of all TV viewership. So why did it drop 80% in a single year? I would surmise that if you're looking at the way the celebrities are acting, and you're looking at this chart, you got to say, somebody told them, shut up. Americans have had enough. And if you ever want to get back into a position where we can monetize your fame, the only way is for you to be sane. Otherwise, you're just another crazy on the street. Folks, that is the video for today. We hope you learned something from this. I had a good time making it. I learned a little bit. I had no idea that the ratings for the Golden Globes had crashed like this until a source reached out and said, hey, check this out. And boy, oh boy, what a thing indeed we've discovered. Hope you enjoyed discovering it with us. It matters a lot to us that you're here with us, and we appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing your day with us and allowing us to be on your device. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we say every single time, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their, different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured, by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I pay for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney, or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and, less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd have think?